So we'll see if the experience of G2 overall can account for them. It will be Gambit starting on the CT side. G2 had their choice of picks, and they went with the attack. Let's see what they can do early on here. It's going to be fast play up the B stairs. They're straight in towards the site. They're looking for this, but there's a crossfire setup. 2 players back behind the girders, and here's going to come the first shots. The kills, though. Trading even. Inter's now making some noise. He's dancing, dipping, diving, dodging, ducking, staying alive. But eventually he'll lose his life. Just too many crosshairs trained on his position, and that leaves it to Shiro and Hobbit. Hobbit coming from the back line. Shiro, meanwhile, trying to clean up mid, and he might be able to. He's going to come up against Nico here. Nico looking for him, knowing that's an important head to find, and indeed he will. Puts all the pressure on Hobbit. Now, Hobbit's been good before. He's got to be great here. He's looking for this first head of Kenny. He's gonna find it. No, doesn't connect. Looked like he was on, but he does damage, nothing more. And now tagged up. He's going to back away. He'll go ahead and save his armor. He'll give them something. Some slim thing to work on in the next round, but that is G2's pistol to take.
Yeah, there was a couple shots just being missed in general there, honestly. Axel in the back corner had a tough time. He's normally a player that we expect to be hitting those quick headshots. Hobbit, obviously, I'm not sure what went on right there. It did look like he had the crosser on the head of the opponent, but it didn't work out. And, well, it makes sense to just save that Kevlar over. Have at least something to work with. The force buy likely comes in around it. And, yeah, this is what I was talking about. Normally, you can expect Axel to be hitting those. And it's only the first round, so I'm not going to judge him too much. Inter did even step up in the meantime, but... of course, it wasn't enough. So G2 do pick up the opening pistol here on their opponent's map choice. It's the start that you want to see for them. They were saying, Hunter was saying during that interview that they decided they want to swap things up. They've been having good starts in the tournaments, normally winning the first match. They were like, yeah, we'll lose the first one instead and see if that gives us better look later on. Obviously not what they intended, but yeah, putting a little bit of a funny spin on things.
All right, let's see where we go. Deagle's out. We know how ferocious these can be. There's some HEs available as well, and with a lot of players bunched in by the forklift, these nades could be effective. Finally looking for it. There's another one in. Does it connect? No, not really. Timing not quite found. The nades are shallow. The damage isn't there. And now the primary threat is gone. The last HE's in towards mid. Could swing back around if they go for a plant. That could be dunked right down on the player, but no one's really vulnerable enough for that to matter too much. So, not too many concerns in that regard. Molly's in. Is that a double Molly, or were those HEs in behind the cement back looking to see if a player be there? Flashbang used effectively. 2 kills. Ooh. Oh, no. They're looking for more. Kenny gets an answer back and a follow-up as well. Hunter now adding to their total. Going to make this difficult. They realize that Inters might have slipped in towards the cement bags, and indeed he has. He'll catch a nade for his efforts, but with 45 seconds still to play with, G2 are taking every second of that. They're taking their time. They're worried about a flank coming through. There is none to be had, but it's fine for G2 to make sure of it. I do like to see that. Hunter's just holding the side hall to make sure they can't get around that way. And they're waiting to see if a peek comes in. And you can see how cautious they are still of cement. There's the molly that goes in, gonna force Inter out. He's got to move. He's dead. He's done for. And despite the low health, goodness gracious, Jesus, look at it. They make it through. 22 points of health for 3 players, Dean.
Yeah, that was insane. That came right down to the wire. Honestly, I was surprised they even stuck around after finding this initial success. They could have given that position up. They could have tried to keep the one player around sandbags and hope to catch someone, but yeah, obviously it doesn't end up working out. It's still good damage. That's something they can be happy with. 2 kills at least being pulled out of it, but obviously it had been the full investment from Gambit, so an eco is what they're looking at. They're not going to be able to pull out too much. Realized I was muted on our observer feed. Got to make sure Randall can hear us. Shout out to Randall on the camera.
He's been doing a great job. He's been doing a great job. He joined us midweek, and he has been phenomenal. So shout out to Randall, catching all the action, making our job easy. We do like to see it. It's amazing how far back G2 are holding in the early moments of these rounds. It's a degree of respect shown towards Gambit and the potential threat of the USP, knowing that even in this round that should be so clean and so easy, there still lurks some risk.
Yeah, we were seeing crazy force buy wins from Gambit a lot as well in some of the matches we covered, so I can completely understand them being careful here. There was also some money after the kills that came in, so very different, some upgraded pistols, so being cautious, definitely something they should be doing. And 1-for-1 trade there. It's only the Deagle that goes down.
They're on B.
No weapon or anything retrieved, but yeah, they've got the bomb set already. It's about exits here. That's really all it is.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Kenny though.
That's all they can hope for.
MP5, potential money. He wants to build bank, and well, there's the first one. 3 more players waiting around this corner. I don't know if he's going to have a great time if he tries to swing out here. Oh, maybe, if only one peeks. Does he realize that's a bait? Apparently not. No, he's going to walk in and get shot in the back of the head. Good kill by Hobbit. They have an MP5. If they can get a kill with that to add a little bit more money as well, then that would be great. But already this isn't too bad. 2 kills, the same as what they achieved in the previous round. And they're at least keeping the economy of G2 in at best an okay position then going into that opening gun round. Although Amanek makes up for it a little bit there with that double kill on his Mac 10.
Amanek kind of looks like he just caught a whiff of something foul in his team picture. Oh no, it looks better up top. When he's down low, it kind of looks like he's scrunching up his face, but I think that's just the shadows from his glasses when they get condensed. Nice round for him. Obviously, it's just cleaning up armorless pistol, so easy peasy, but makes him some nice money going forward. You can see he's got 4250 left in the bank here. G2 gonna have a very comfortable bonus round. It is actually the true bonus. I see Hunter is 6100, so he'll be able to drop. So they should be fine regardless of what happens here economically. But obviously, you'd like to take this first gun round through. That would be tremendous. The ult's already out for Shiro. It's patrolling around towards the A ramp. We see aggression in towards mid as well. And then it looks like Axile just up by the danger panel on top of the B stairs. He's actually going to back away towards site, which is a good read because now they're taking some space, and that can always get a bit risky. Amanek, wow, that nade. That must have landed straight in his skull. Good damage done. That SMG will be limping through the rest of the round.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst position. If they can just keep him kind of safe-ish until they start that push, he can at least serve as kind of the first man in and at the very least try and prepare for a trade for his teammates. But it actually ends up being a Hunter who goes down initially, and Nexa got as well. Not a good start for the side of G2 here. They get picked apart on the ramp, and that was around mid, even where Hobbit's able to put off one lurker who was trying to probe around that area. Good return by Amanek, so Shiro's down, but there's just no need for the other player to stick around aggressive anymore. He can back off. There's not much time for G2 to work with, and obviously they're the ones who have to force the issue right now. Nice little smoke as well to complicate things. Leaves a bit of a gap, I believe, for vision to be found. Yeah, Nade's going over. Let's see what can be done. A couple of kills, a bomb plant would be nice, and oh, a wallbang to kick things off. Great find by Kenny. Oh,
and considering how low Hobbit is, there's very vulnerable situation here on the site. This could be cracked. They need to get a pick here early before this bomb goes down. I don't think they fancy the retake. Kenny is losing a lot of health, and well, he is going to get spammed. Thought honestly he might be caught by that Molotov, but it's going to be Inters to put it all down. 2 players survive here for Gambit. It's not exactly a wondrous round, and considering that was just a bonus for G2, they don't have to be too upset about that. A bomb play would have been nice, would have gone a long way to it, but taking them down to 2 means that this economy is going to be brittle, that they can come back in and punish them now in this next gun round. So this is a great situation for G2, actually. They're going to get full utility up. Nexus just a teensy bit limited, but it's not really a big deal. And now we'll see that they choose to take it, because if they can get the punish here on a Gambit that has a FAMAS out, that has an MP9 out, now they've got a chance to make this a really brutally good half. The skipper of a smoke. Bounce it off the top of the sandbags. Gives Axile a really cheeky angle. I love this. From the catwalk, peering on over under the stairs. He's like, come on, Amanek. Take that spot. I know you want to. Oh, he's going to get Kenny. He spots the toes. He knows they're there. Axile hunting for the toes. Loves him some toes. He's going to have to back off there. Doesn't quite catch the player. If he stuck around a moment longer, he might have had it, but just gets dangerous the more time you spend out there. Once you know they might be in the angle.
Yeah, he didn't want to stick around on that B aggression anymore. Nade, does that bounce back? No, it actually did go down. Not really doing too much damage, only a tiny bit on Nexa, and well, now they're all just bursting up the ramp. They're moving real quick with this, actually. Shiro is delayed slightly as he takes off the head of Nexa. Smoke down on the side alley also delays the push, and going too good for G2. What? It's all Shiro on the hold right now. 3 already being found, and Kenny and Nico look like they've decided that, well, they're not quite ready for the commitment anymore, because they are being decimated one by one on the push, though. That's the issue. He was given the opportunity. The Opper should not be able to get away with 3 frags that easily without a trade.
You say that, but even then, I think that was just an incredible play from Shiro, because I don't disagree with you, but the reality is Amanek took his rifler out. You normally expect the op to fall back at that point, wait for the teammates to come in and play retake, but Shiro just says, nah, I got it, bud. Not quite going to hit that. They're getting forward, but now he's got players with him, and so Kenny's not going to be able to get the bomb planted. It's all onto Nico. They know he doesn't have control. He's got 10 seconds. There's no reason to take this space, and eventually Hobbit will put him down. An upgrade available for Hobbit. What a round from Shiro. 3 kills, and just his positioning prevented them from even having a chance of taking the site. Incredible play from this young star. He is really getting better and better and better the longer it goes on, and considering his already high level, that is a scary prospect.
Yeah, no, I think I'll go back a little bit with you. I agree on that to some extent, because the second kill especially he got on the player coming up from the headshot angle, that's fair, that was hard to trade, but I still think they could have went together a little bit better, or even slowed things down until they were all ready to go, especially after that player dropped. But it is in the past at this point. G2 do need to forget about it and focus on that next gun round that comes up, but for now it's 2 Deagles, 3 Glocks, and well, hopefully a couple of kills again. That is the goal. Good kill by Axel. I think that's him actually welcoming himself to the scoreboard. That was his first kill, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that boost. A little bit further back than normal, so it could catch Hobbit off guard. Even if he just starts crossing back into B, if he's not being careful of this angle, then he could very well get caught off guard. So we'll see how this goes. At the moment, it's not really paying off for either, but it's all about the patience.
It's one you don't see very often. As they creep in, the problem is crab walking along there on the boost. I think it's going to take too long, so even if Hobbit's not expecting it, he'll probably figure it out. So they're going to drop down. They're going to try and swing him, knowing the position. He's going to get 2. Looking for the 3rd. Nearly has it. It's going to be Nexa out, and ooh, Hobbit does damage. That was actually Shiro to collect the 3rd. So nicely done for Hobbit. He's the only casualty in the round. Is Nafani close enough to get his gun? No, he's all the way down towards the ramp. So the MP9 will be brought into the next round, but that's okay. 1 player drop, not really a big deal. Hobbit, plenty of money to repurchase stuff. See the captain of this squad, the experienced veteran, bringing his perspective into the team. Former major winner with the organization, with obviously a very different team. But it's just such an interesting dynamic they've got going here on Gambit. Really do enjoy it. We are going to see a fast play from G2. They've got the guns. They've got some things working. Only the 1 rifle on Nico. But Cement MG, pistols, and overwhelming blistering speed. But it hits a wall. It hits a wall. Looked like they might catch them off guard, but no, not going to happen. It is down to Nico. And he is the kind of player who can open this up, but he's going to meet the gun barrel of Shiro's off. Down, done, dusted. Fast round, fast resolution there by Gambit. Honestly, that kind of pace, I thought they might catch a couple players off guard, maybe at least get into a post plant, get themselves into a situation they can fight, but Gambit just hold very strong.
Yeah, it was looking real possible, but I mean, half investment, not the end of the world that it didn't work out. They tried something a little bit quicker to see maybe even if it was something that they could exploit then later on once they get onto the weapons as well. But yeah, I think they kind of realized there that it's not going to be given up too easy no matter what around that ramp area. This Gambit lineup, I've actually just loved this map since they were the youngsters as well. It was one of the first maps I remember seeing them kind of break through on and getting those upsets. And it's just always been there in the map pool since then. And as you said, obviously having Hobbit in now, the extra experience, they have been looking good. G2 though, back onto their first proper full gun round here. They're lacking the up on Kenny, unfortunately, but it is pretty much everything else they could ask for other than that. They have the nades, they have all the rifles, obviously, and well, they've actually taken a bit of damage in the early moments. Thankfully, nothing too substantial, but it's still not too nice having a couple of players slightly tagged up. Oh, we're seeing the late ramp progression, actually. Yeah, this may not be expected.
There's no way to do. 2 kills. That's so bold. It does put Shiro in a really rough spot, but he's not going to be punished. He's going to be able to slip away. And that's important here. So now an advantage gained. Shiro has control of the side hallway. That's all he wants to hold on to. It's a retake setup. But actually, G2 has been late getting the bomb around. They wanted to confirm this kill on Shiro. And Nexa, well, he's denied. It's not so easy to kill Shiro, even when you have the positioning, even when you should be able to catch him off guard. He swings back in and brings it through. Nico will get one. There's still 3 players alive. He doesn't have control of the bomb, and he's only got 35 seconds, and there's a player wrapping back into spawn. So there's no way he predicts into his position, right? Certainly no way. He's going to get clocked upside the head in just a moment. He comes around with knife out, and that is going to be the kill. Gambit, again, holding strong. That round, the aggression from Nafani down towards the bottom of the ramp catches them completely off guard, but then it's also Shiro staying alive in the side hall that makes this so tough. If I'm G2... I'm maybe putting A on hold for a little while and seeing what we can get going towards B, because Shiro is heating up. And it's very tough to get past him here.
Yeah, a bit of a tough time so far, but It is Vertigo. I don't know if you can just completely abandon that ramp position. Maybe a little bit of pressure B early and then just try and pull back afterwards. No, they want to rush B. Again, with the half-buy, it does make sense to bring up the pace. And, well, they had actually started off pretty well with the initial dink. But it is still one kill from that player and then a quick return from the rotation that had already come through there. Hobbit being ready to hold off alongside Inters. And yeah, well, it's all on Amanek now. Low health already. He's going to drop down. That puts him slightly lower, but not really too bad. But he's still not going to have a chance to do anything. And yeah, you said it, as you just said, even the bomb is down over on B at the moment. Do Gambit realize this?
Yes. But they've gone hunting.
Oh yeah, they do have a player pushed up.
It was in the middle of them. They have
yeah,
to
they have
known.
Hobbit pushed up, I believe, on the stairs.
Mm-hmm. They should have deep control here. Amanek's going to get collected here in just a moment. I fantastic he could get a kill. He actually does get the connection, but it's not a headshot. Inters was somewhat vulnerable. A Tech 9 headshot from that range might be taken out. It's not going to happen, though. 6-3 is the scoreline. Gambit doing well on their CT side, and we normally do expect to see that attack have a fair amount of success on a Vertigo. It's not 100% confirmed, but, you know, it's nice to see. Meanwhile, if we're looking at the G2 side, we got a couple players who are very slow to enter the server. Nexa and Nico both sitting on 2 kills apiece, as we're 9 rounds in, is not encouraging, especially when you talk about Nico. He's a player who you expect to have those big plays, those big highlights, and he has not been having a good time of it early here. Kenny's actually the only player positive at 8-7. So it's not the most encouraging scoreline if you're a G2 fan here, but it is very early days. We're hitting round 10. This is where we need to see something. If they can get towards, I don't know, honestly, anything less than 6 would be pretty disastrous here, Dean. They chose this side, too, so it's not like they're expecting to be better after the switch. They chose this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of just you're expecting to choose the T side, even if they might feel a little bit more comfortable once they swap over. Vertigo is tough though, so sometimes it just clicks on the CT side like it is right now for Gambit, and sometimes you struggle. And well, at the moment it's G2 who are struggling. I thought Hobbit got that spray control, but no, he did actually do the damage. It was Nafany though to finish it with the flames, and G2 suddenly have a man advantage. This is one of the best positions we've seen them in quite a while, and you can see Gambit instantly are forced to try and get something done. And well, that's Shiro pushing up on mid. He's trying to body block that smoke, not able to do much about it. And although Shiro had started pushing mid, he actually falls back off just as the lurker starts to come around. So this could catch him off guard. Oh, scopes up. That should have been heard at least by the player up close, but he's been spotted. Amanek shows his shoulder, goes back in, and then unfortunately is a little bit too slow, and the repeat gets punished. We're back to the 2-on-2, and Gambit are going to be set up over an A. Both players are going to be over here as G2 move in. Or if they do, that is, because they, in theory, could still go back, but it's looking like it is going to be this A commitment.
They just have so much information to operate off of, right? Because they found the player. Shiro went all the way around. He was just roaming, trying to figure out where they were playing from. Now there's a player close up in the smoke. This is going to get weird. This is going to get weird. Inters figures it out first. He's trying to walk through. He's like, why am I not outside of the smoke now? It's because there's a hunter in your way. And the hunter will become the hunted in this situation. It's now all on to Kenny S. 2 players defined, and they split the sides of his scope. He's looking for the one he's got confirmed. Only 20 seconds to operate in. And he's going to have to give up an audio cue here with the tap. As soon as he does, Shiro comes looking. Shiro comes killing. No bomb plant for you. A kill confirmed. And the advantage is not enough for G2. They have a 3-on-2, but Shiro, just ever calm, ever patient, goes back, clears the back line, and comes away with a kill. And actually, you know what? As much as I'm crowing about Shiro, Inters is 12-3. He's actually doing substantially better. He's only died 3 times, and he has the most kills on the server. Incredible game from Inters.
What we need as well, because Axel's having a bit of a slower start, and normally he's the player that's up there alongside Shiro, and then you have Hobbit as well. So Hobbit's showing up, and well, yeah, Inters is having a game, man. It's good to see. Nexa though, pushing up close. He covered a lot of ground there before actually being spotted. Unfortunately, wasn't able to hit those shots, and well, Hobbit, while even getting that kill, hacked up a couple of players in the background as well. So as they push into B, already weakened up, it's just not a tough task at all for Gambit to deal with. Fall on to Kenny, long-range Tech 9, not ideal, as Hobbit finishes him off. A flawless anti-eco, basically. Anti-half-buy, I guess we'll go with it right there, because there was still a lot that was dangerous to them, and they managed to not drop anything at all. So yeah, Gambit are looking great here. It's been 8 rounds now in a row, I believe, right?
Yes. Yeah. Something like that. Oh, you're right. It was the 3-0. Holy cow. 8 rounds in a row. Timeout comes in. That's a good time for G2 because, I don't know. You got to figure something out here. The fast plays aren't working. The slow plays aren't working. You give them enough time to go back and they clear out the back line. You had an advantage. That didn't work either. Although, honestly, that was pretty disjointed. Even in the advantage situation they have, they didn't really press it in time. Tried to play slow, and that gave Shiro enough time to work it out. I don't know. I don't think there's a silver bullet here for G2. They're losing a lot of duels. They are straight up losing the duels. That's never encouraging. They're not on point with the aim. They don't really have a plan for the takes. Need to find a solution here on Vertigo. Otherwise, they could find themselves down a map in the series very quickly on. I do want to give some credit to Exile. He is the B anchor, and they have not come B a lot. So he's not had a lot of chance to do early damage. He's mostly been coming in, either dueling off with a lurker or coming in late to clean up a retake. And you're right, it hasn't been that great for him, but he's doing fine. Utility down, and that's going to do a lot of damage to G2 on approach. Look at Nafani's position behind the girder. This one's bold. I don't think Hunter's going to expect it. It's not a position player's off the play. They're holding for the side hall push. There's 2 players on the other side. Timing is everything here. A flashbang comes through, and here's the swing. There's 1. There's 2. Play just as it's drawn up. He even looks for the third. Sticks around for the fight where most players might have ducked behind. Nico will at least be able to trade that one out, but they're down a player, and 2 of the remaining are at about half.
Yeah, there had just been so much damage done before they even found contact there, and obviously Nafani able to capitalize on it with a great spray down. Axel, the man who we said hasn't had as much action so far through this map, he's going to go ahead and snatch up a kill as well, finding that B lurker, and now it's all onto just Nico. Kenny-esque is dead before I can even get his name out in that sentence, so let's see what Nico can salvage. 57 health, 4 opponents, and his position not necessarily known, but at this point there's a very good idea considering they've also pushed up on B. Great shot on Shiro. He's actually expecting this flank to be coming in as well. If he can punish this kill, there is a potential open B bomb site for him to head to, but no. Axile is a little too quick. He seemed cautious of it, but I think Nico is still slightly got off guard, especially with it being so quick. 9-3, Gambit, they keep on building up that lead, and there we go. Axile is the man who actually steps up in that round to take the impact player award. They finally came to him. He showed us what he was capable of. He's just chilling. 5 and 6 at the moment. Everyone else, though, is very close on the frags. We don't really have one standout player for Gambit. They're all contributing, and that's what you need against a team like G2.
I just want to talk about all the different looks that they show towards a ramp. We'll see how fast the plays can be from G2, see if they give me an opportunity to talk about it. They've been really quick on some of their eco rounds. But Gambit, the backbone of any Vertigo play is how good is your A ramp hold. Axile, he's going to actually get overwhelmed there. Did so much damage, though, on 3 players, but it may not much matter in an anti-eco. Problem is, Hobbit comes back into the angle, and if this HE finds home, well, good luck. Doesn't quite connect, and a kill went down elsewhere. Nico found Shiro. That means there's an op down. Suddenly things are getting interesting. There's still a rifle, and Nafani realizes he has to give up this aggressive ramp control. Might have to fall back to the info play. Mid is open as well, so he can't be comfortable. G2 are content to run this clock down a little bit, put some more pressure on, let Gambit spread out, and try and figure out what's doing. Meanwhile, they're going to take a ramp that's just been vacated. There's no one here. Such is the threat of the mid play. The only thing that's not working for them is they haven't been able to retrieve those guns they've dropped, but I think they're all right with it. The Deagle's still effective here, and this might allow them a bomb plant. Even a smoke, a few flashes, a single Molotov to allow them onto site. Nafani's come back to hold it. And here comes the utility. That's going to confirm his suspicions. Now there's a second player there. G2 may have missed their window, but they should still have an opportunity at the very least at a bomb plant. This nade could be deadly. Oh, it catches one. Kenny now down for the count. Down to even numbers. Nico will be able to plant this bomb, I think. He's burning. Does he get away? No. The Flames take him. The money is earned, but the Flames, they take their sacrifice. Now it's left to Hunter and Nexus to hold, and what was looking like a favorable situation has been melted away by Gambit. They're looking for more. Here's the fight. Shots need to be hit. Hunter will connect. Needs more. Can't quite have that, but it's down to the rifle. The rifle to hold. The first one found, a 1v1. Now Nexa has the clock to play with, but he's going to force it. He's going to make it happen. Finally, G2 are on the board. G2 are on the board when they didn't have much to work with, but they needed something to work out for them, and it has.
Yeah, thanks to a big clutch from Nexa. Not something you can rely on constantly, of course, but it gives them the opening back end. That it'd be ridiculous ridiculous 9 rounds in a row at that point from Gambit. And yeah, really good work. Peek back in, caught the timing there. Probably could have played the timing on the bomb more, but the peek through was just not expected by Shiro because of that. So that's why it ends up working in his favor. But yeah, that wasn't even the full buy. So let's see if G2 can actually now replicate that performance, because we said they're looking to get towards 6 rounds here on the T side of Vertigo if they want a half that they can be at all happy with. So they are looking to try and end out this half on a high note. The B smoke coming in, Molly alongside it, and Nade as well. There might be some damage connected there below B, and yeah, a little bit, nothing too substantial, but it helps. Basically negates the helmet on 2 of those players once that push starts coming in. And well, it's a quick one actually. Axel cooked in up close. We've seen them overlook this before, I believe, and well, he's not really going to get a chance to do anything because Inters and Hobbit are too quick. He has now been spotted as well, but he's given room to back off as that B push is denied for G2, and they might have to reconsider where exactly they want to go with this. They have no ramp control, of course, though, so going back in this direction, they're going to have a very tough time even fighting for this, because we are seeing Nafani aggressive. And yeah, they want to go back towards B with that still.
I mean, it's their only option. They don't have mid, they don't have ramp. For all they know, there's a guy in spawn, there's a guy down ladder room. We got no information. You can see they're worried about it. I'm actually surprised by how little focus they're paying towards the flank, all things considered. Nico's going to try and get lucky, but Axel's far enough back that he can't actually visualize where the player is through the grate. Now on comes the hit. Axel is low, but he's got teammates with him. So it's going to be tough. It's a crossfire setup with Hobbit on the other side of that smoke and Axel up close by the boxes. They're not looking for it. Kenny's dead. Flashbang well timed. It was actually Nico's flashbang. Never mind. Very poorly timed. But Nexa gets 2. And that might just get them a bomb plant. Indeed it will. Bomb now down, but that means they know where Nexa is. Doesn't matter. A trade is there, but it's a 1v1, and Nafani comes out on top. This round gets close. Oh, so close for G2. They get a bomb plant. They get it down to the 1v1, but close is no cigar. It's a team ace for Gambit, and 10 rounds on the board.
Yeah, a little bit for everyone in that round for Gambit. And G2, another pause comes in. The last round of the half, they want to salvage this. 10-5 is still a dreadful scoreline, though, if you're to lose that second pistol then, because it just puts you in such a tough spot. If you don't make the force buy work, you probably go down 13-5 then before you see guns. So even getting this 5th round still leaves G2 in a position where they just need to pick it up as soon as that second half kicks off. I mean, it would still be doable again with that pistol round, but you want as much room to work with as possible. And a reminder for everyone who may only be joining us recently enough, it'd been the initial 3 rounds going the way of G2 before Gambit just kind of woke up and another soul round within there. Won out by G2 on not even a full gun round as well. That's what's crazy about it.
Timeout from Gambit.
For Kenny. Oh, I mean,
interesting.
G2 just paused. They're going to try and swap something up, so why don't Gambit do the same, I guess?
This is like the, all right, they came up with their plan. Now let's give them another timeout to think about all the ways it's going to go wrong.
What are they, G2 are like, what are they swapping up now? Damn. It does make sense, though, because if they're having a chat, it's especially if Gambit have been playing like a similar kind of style throughout all the rounds, if they've been going for a fairly similar setup, there could be something specific. G2 are like, yeah, let's try and abuse this. So it makes sense. Gambit maybe pauses, swap things up, and perhaps counter whatever sort of counter G2 are trying to come in with. But yeah, we're back into the action after a couple of pauses.
As much as it's tactics on the G2 side, it's got to be mentality as well. You wanted that time to settle down. Be like, all right, guys, we get this 5th. Fine, just go get this 5th. We know we can win this map. We know we can win this series. Don't sweat it. Probably slightly more aggressively described, considering their situation, but you never know.
Not as chill, yeah.
Early utility damage coming through from Nico, or onto Nico, rather. For Nico. Nafani again has deep control. This time he's on the other side. This is the more traditional hold, but he hasn't actually employed it yet, I don't think. And they are going to come clear up. He's off by the smoke. He's going to get 1. He's looking for the second as well. Does good damage. It's not there, but his teammates have vaporized around him. They have been dismantled. They have been destroyed. The lurk on B is gone and down for the count. And Shiro has collected his prize, and he's looking for more. Out by the ramp, it's going to be Nico to try and peek around, but Nico is the only player who's healthy remaining. That shot is missed. Nico almost gets the kill back through the panel. So something working for him, but he's lost his teammate. He's lost his cousin. And now it is only 1 Kovac on the site. What can he do? 50 seconds. Bomb lost. It's out by the side hallway. He's going to dump utility. He's wary of the flank. There is no one there, but he's got to worry about the phantoms that could haunt his trail. Meanwhile, everyone from Gambit just holds the same angle, and if the smokes have faded, this is now uncovered. No, they're still up. Precious time for Nico to creep forward. With 35 seconds, does he just want to back off of this? He's hoping for a face. He's hoping someone's going to give him something that he can work with to pull off a clutch. But this would be an absolute masterclass from Nico if he could pull it. It is such a tough jam he finds himself in. 25 seconds. Now he's got to start moving. He'll still play with that clock, hoping that they've rotated off, and they have gone back to check the mid flank, but now he's going to be spotted. The jig is up. They know. A smoke goes over just to cover that angle to give him something to try and isolate a fight. He's going to tap the bomb down, but he's running out of time. He's running out of clock. 10 seconds. First body found, players on him, and he has lost his chance to win this round. They don't even have to fight, but Hobbit will give him the mercy of a swift death. 4-11. 11 rounds in the first half, and we'll be back after this break.
A million light years away from home, my eyes opened, and now I've come to claim life. Never let it go. These wings carry me. Live this fantasy. Running through the fire, fire. Gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah. Gonna let it burn. Running through the fire, fire. Gonna let it burn. I'm the Messiah. Gonna let it burn. 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 Found me in the darkness. Now they see me shining. Calling me a goddess. Thunder and the lightning. I'm falling, I'm faster. Making my way back, I'm close to home. I'm fighting harder. Because I've come to claim my throne. Never letting go. These wings carry me. Live this fantasy. Running through the fire, fire. Gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah. Gonna let it burn. I'm running through the fire. Gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah. And I live this fantasy. Running through the fire, fire. Gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah. Gonna let it burn. Running through the fire, fire. Gonna let it burn. I am the Messiah. Gonna let it burn.
And we're back here with the second half of the map about to be underway. Gambit, a massive lead to work with as they head over to the T side of Vertigo. G2 down in the dumps and not a lot of room to work with if they go down early here. The one advantage for them, this is Gambit's map pick. They'll be headed to more comfortable territory for G2 next. The problem is if they don't even have a chance to warm up in this first one, that doesn't exactly bode well for them in the series.
No, not at all. And we know Dust 2 is a map that Gambit are very capable on as well, especially if they come off a win. As one-sided as this one could look to be if we see them just kick off this half on a strong start. Let's see. It is already a execute. We've got players here for G2, but there's not much that they can do as those smokes actually start to go down. They are going to be holding out on it. They don't have any HGs. It is flashes and smokes instead that they've gone towards. But there we go. Nico has snatched up a kill. They have all the players, as I said, already in position to get going. No flanks, though, so everyone's going to be pushing in from the spawn side of things, which can be risky. as you're pushing up against those Glocks, but so far the trades continue to just about go in their favor, but they're really taking their time with this.
They are going to need to get a move on here. There is a kit available, but there's no more smoke, so they're making their move now. Hobbit on the site is going to be the ace in the hole, perhaps. The defuse is coming in right under his nose. He doesn't realize it, doesn't react to it, certainly, but he will be the last one to falter. So G2, a nice retake on that. They do allow the bomb plant, but they swiftly neutralize the threat. A pistol round that it goes a long way to making them feel a bit more comfortable here on Vertigo. Gambit with the bomb plant. I'm kind of curious. They're not going to the force buy just yet. I'd expect to see it, but it doesn't seem like they're going to. But the lead that they have, it seems they're comfortable working with that cushion. They seem to be fairly effective on some of those second-round forces, but they're not going to do it here. They say, you know what? Let's get the rifles. Let's get the really good rifles, and then let's make our game plan work. Don't worry about it. Don't try and put armor. Don't try and put utility behind this round. See what we can get. Fully a sight. Roll in. Plant the bomb. See what works.
That was pretty close there for Hunter, almost getting caught. Yeah, I've got to agree with it. As you said, just get a strong buyout as early as possible and just try and get back into your winning ways. Because if you give G2 a team like G2 rather, the chance to get some rounds going, get some confidence back, then they can get tough to deal with. They can wake up pretty quickly. It's going to be that B hit obviously coming in. Amanek might be in some trouble, but he has teammates already moving back over to help him out. And, well, he took a very open position to take those fights. It does work out for 2 at least, and by the time his teammates get here, there's no one crossed over yet, so it's not like the weapon's even going to be picked up. So, yeah, it's no trouble. They should be able to retrieve the FAMAS as well. Axile wanted to make it a bit more costly, and he did deliver a headshot towards Hunter. Honestly, not bad for what they had into that round. Now it gives them a fantastic opportunity to win out the first gun round and actually break down that economy for a couple of the players potentially on G2. Yeah, look, they don't have really much left on towards Hunter, and Nexa especially looking real broke. Amanek wouldn't have enough for a full buy either if they were to lose this round, so a chance for Gambit to come out swinging here.
Potentially. The one advantage is you don't have to bring the SMGs over, right? You dump those guns, those are the 2 that were lost, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Fast attempted pick from Shiro towards the B stairs, and he actually did catch a hint of an ankle, but just a hint. Was unable to connect the shot, and so B stairs control will be lost. They'll back off of it. Amnek's actually down below it. He takes in, I think, their own Molotov. Would have given an audio cue away if anyone was close enough to hear it, but I don't believe they were. Said they're going to shift direction. Actually does prompt Amanek to go all the way back towards the site. No, he's still down there. Sorry, minimap confused me for a moment. So they are going to have that deep control. They're going to have that information to play off of, but they're still keeping 2 players committed here despite the positioning. Say ramp take's going to go in. Is that nade effective? Yeah, it's all right. Does some connection damage. Might soften a player up for a headshot. A little bit of damage from the FAMAS. Every bit counts when you've got those slightly weaker rifles. But here comes the movement. They're going into the A ramp take. It's fairly straightforward. Not a ton of utility left for Gambit, so once they go, they're going to have to really go. And Nex is going to go forward to try and thwart them. He's out by the crane. Is he going to get caught? Yes, he is. Dead. With no potential for a trade, and his teammate goes down as well. Kenny's dropped. It's left to Nico to hold the line. He's found the first. He's looking for heads. He's looking to pop them, but he's going to have to give it up. 35 seconds. They give up. And they're going to likely allow the bomb plant. A flank is on. The bomb is still out towards the cement bags. Don't love this for Gambit. Now they'll make the transition. Shiro wants to get back into that angle. There's the spot on the flank. They know it's here. Axile might be dead, but no, somehow he comes away with that. Amanek, unable to finish his prey. And at this point, Hunter and Nico, well, they may just want to give this up. They may just want to back out. It seems like they're a little bit hesitant about going for it. They're careful about a flank coming through from mid. And they're going to bail. Don't have kits. Had a couple of flashbangs, but no smokes. Don't give the round to Gambit. That's 12 on the board.
Yeah, you can't blame them for backing away here. The 2-on-4 would have been incredibly tough. And, well, with this weapon saved over, with these weapons saved over, rather, Nico is able to drop. Kenny is going to be sitting on 4450, so obviously no op available there, but he can also get the rifle for himself. So they can give this a go, and they likely will, because Nex is on that double eco, so a drop to come over, they'll buy up what they can find, and obviously if the force buy doesn't go their way, then that's when they're really in trouble, because it would very likely be Gambit going up 14-6 then with an eco being forced. And then we maybe only have even the 1 more gun round from from G2 rather, depending on how that goes. We're seeing a Gambit pause here. Okay. I guess just wanting to make sure that it's not going to be a return from G2. They do, I guess, know
Yeah.
with the weapons being safe that they're up against something decent. Maybe not exactly what they're against, but yeah, it's such an important round, such a critical one that could basically decide the map for them. But I'm completely behind this pause. It makes sense. It does give G2 a moment, though. I'm sure they're not too unhappy with being able to take a little bit of time.
That is the thing that you risk, is it does help out your opponent a little bit to be able to discuss what's going on here. But we know that Gambit's a team that's pretty quick to take these pauses when they feel they need them. Just, discuss, settle in, figure out exactly what the plan is. And you're right, this is a critical juncture. If they can get the round here, if they can get this win, G2, economy broken, you're on towards 14 more than likely. And things are looking very good indeed. Lose here and you let them back in. Shiro hunting ahead here. Molotov in. I might prompt the nade out from Nexa. There's precious little utility to use, so every piece that gets dragged out is effective for Gambit. A smoke deep by B stairs, and again, Almanac has forward positioning. This seems to be the game plan for a G2. Use that forward position to give them a lot of information, but this time they might be a bit more tested. There's a player down low. I think that's Axile who's looking for him. Looking to clear this out. Once the smoke fades, you can see that effectively come through. Oh, what a shot from Shiro. Next, I was just trying to shoulder the angle to get information, fall, and dump utility, and Shiro's just too quick for him. That is so tough. Now there's a player on site. It's Kenny, who's forced into the angle. He's got teammates behind him to support, but there should be a curtain of smokes for them to get behind. And actually, G2 are battling forward. Positioning by the crane is tough to deal with, but they're anticipating a lot of play out from the side hallway. It's just not there. Axile's now worked his way out. He's found Almanac. That could trigger the bail. He's on towards the B site. That means the flank will come in, but Nafani goes forward to get a kill. Nico takes two. Now they're getting out of there. They're getting the heck out of Dodge. They know they have B. It's dragged Hunter back to control it. But he's going to win the fight. Shiro gets Nico. Now they're coming back to A. It's a yo-yo approach. Back this way, that way, the other way. A 2v1, no health for Hunter. And he's going to try and pull off a massive clutch. He at least has the fact that they still need to plant the bomb to play off of. But it's going down right this second. He's running out of his window. And right now, Shiro is locked in on the angle. A re-smoke there to make his life even more difficult, but he's going to come through. He is going to creep into the angle. Shiro finishes him off, and that is done and dusted. Gambit take the round, and as we said, it is a devastating round to lose for G2. They're seeing their opportunities to get in this game dwindling, slipping out of their fingers, and that's now Gambit onto a huge 13.
They just made that so difficult for G2. Didn't give them anywhere on the map that wasn't being pressured and making things just so difficult in terms of getting that read in and even being able to rotate anyone over to help. And yeah, just picked apart by Gambit. The yo-yo approach, as you called it. I like it. Probably because they were screaming, yo-yo, come back, man. We got the kill here now again. It was tough for them to decide because they just kept finding openings. I like the stack, though.
I feel that
a bit
way.
of a gamble. Nico alone with the Eagle actually pushed up on mid. I think that the ladder's being watched at the moment, so I don't know how much he's going to get from that unless it's his teammates who find the contact first and basically pull them away from there. Very safe from Gambit. They know when to take the pace down a notch and take things a little bit more cautiously. That's one thing that has to be noted right now, because when they were Gambit youngsters, I would say that's something that was kind of lacking. They also really loved those force buys in positions when you didn't always need them, like we seen them even go for that eco back on round number 2 to get the early gun round. I don't think that's something that they were doing as often about a year ago. So you can see kind of the evolvement. What is this? Hang on, Nico coming down behind just as Hobbit had left that position. So this could be the flank. It's the only pistol they've upgraded, so Nico's going to have to do a lot. But we'll see just what he can find with this position. And, well, his teammates in the meantime are getting shut down, and no, Hobbit was still watching it. So that one's done and dusted. It's going to be 14 for Gambit and G2. They have a tough road ahead of them here to try and pull it back on Vertigo. As we said, it is Gambit's map choice, though. So it's not the end of the world, but going on to D2, Gambit are a very strong map on Dust 2 as well. And it's always a risky pick.
It's not fair when you're trying to catch Hobbit unawares on the lurk like that. I mean, he's got an AK that glows blue when enemies are near. Call it Sting. Please tell me you got that reference.
No, I didn't.
Hobbit, Sting, sword. It's Frodo's sword. It's Bilbo's sword that becomes Frodo's sword. It glows blue and orcs.
It's been a long time
killing
since
me
I've
here,
watched the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's been a long time, man. I was probably like 11 or 12 the last time I watched it. No, I actually haven't. Well, yeah, outing
Get
me
you
on
there
stream,
sometime.
like, what the hell?
Fake nerd. Fake nerd.
Yeah, no, I got
Someone in
scammed by
chat got that
Audible. I was
reference.
actually thinking of picking them up. Oh, I'm sure plenty of people did. It was just me who missed it. I was thinking of picking them up on Audible at one point, but when I cancelled my subscription, they took all my points away from me. So yeah, nicked.
Rip.
This is it though. G2 need to win this gun round, and then they can't really think about losing a round for quite a while. It needs to be just a dramatic uptick in performance for G2.
Right now, it's not looking like the setup to do it either. There's a very light positioning here towards the A site. And they just go forward with this ramp take. There's not a whole lot G2 can do. There, I suppose, set up for the retake, as Nexa will try and hold side hallway. We saw Gambit set up in that setting, actually not infrequently. Kenny gets drawn forward as well. Haven't really had a chance at the op here on the CT side, which would be nice. Kenny's actually had a good game. I think he's top of the board for the team. So it'd be nice to be able to give him the big green. See what he can do with it, but they're just not going to have an opportunity. They're just not going to have a chance for it, is the way it's looking right now. Still, this is a much slower round from Gambit. You said they knew when to take their foots off the gas. Now they're moving up in towards mid just as Nico has vacated. Hunter comes back around, but it seems like they're maybe anticipating the stairs play since that's where they've left the gap. 3 players now taking mid makes this very dangerous. The flashbang will cue them into what's going on. You can see the 2 crosshairs snap over. Now Hunter and Nico are both focused in. Hunter takes the first, but there's the trade. And another, as well as Amanek falls. Nico needs to do it all himself. He takes 1, he takes 2. So far, he's been good for it. And he'll take the 3rd to boot. Nico, the man who should be king on this roster, steps up when they need him most. A huge 3K to keep them in the game.
It's not the only moment we've seen him step up as well. Some of those rounds where they were struggling, he was finding frags. It was unfortunately just never really enough when his teammates weren't able to step up alongside him. But yeah, in this case, it does manage to win them out the round. And well, now they're sitting on 7, half of what their opponents are currently on. So obviously a very long way still to go, but it is a start. Sorry, I don't know if my dog can be heard right now.
Nope, you're good. You're good.
Oh,
no,
good. Okay,
no dog co-caster. No
kinda
dog
sad,
co-caster today. We could use some input.
Not funny.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
There
we're not
it
seeing
is.
any
There it
fight
is.
around ramp, are we? Oh,
Look,
it's
your
been
dog's
picked up a
G2
little bit
fan.
now.
Yeah, you're fine, though. Your dog's just a G2 fan. Getting excited.
Angry that they're not going too. It's not going too well for them. Trying to cheer them up.
Maybe she's just happy that they just got around. Finally, a little momentum. She cries. Into the night. Ramp control taken here again, as you were saying. Looks like Nexa wants to do something for the side hallway, but that is going to be risky if he eventually does come around. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it.
Yeah, I think more so just trying to keep on a little bit of pressure, at least fresh smoke down, so they are worrying that a player's up close on this side, Ali, but he's not going to actually be fighting that on his own at this point. I think we have all of Gambit moving back over as well. So yeah, it is looking like it's going to be the A hit. Makes sense. Time now down to 40 seconds. We haven't really had much contact up to this point, so it is just going to be a quick burst that comes through. They clear the sandbags with a molly, but they aren't able to clear out Kenny initially as they peek in, but they do get the trade, and Axile pops the head of Nexus. Shiro snatches up Hunter, and it's a 4-on-2. It is on to Nico and Amanek to try and save this round, and pretty much to map with it as well. Nico, he got a little bit of a chance there. It was only a shoulder that showed for a moment, so he wasn't able to capitalize on it, but jumping up, he does get one, and suddenly with Amanek also getting one from the flank, it does become winnable.
Time is of the essence here, and they would really like to isolate the fight against Nico, but he's gone further back. That's a nice play, because then Inters goes to clear, thinking he might be in the jump-up position, but that's not going to happen. Amanek's still all the way down by the ramp, so he can't really be that helpful here. That's a huge shot to hit. I think they've lost the round regardless. I don't think Amanek could even get here in time. He's trying, he's thinking about it, he's realizing, oh no. Oh no, that's map point. He'll take Hobbit with him, never mind. Hobbit is just too good. And that's map point now found for Gambit as they look to move up 1-0 in this series. They are so close to it. Nico tried. Nico did so much damage there. But it wasn't enough. It was not enough here, Dean. And it's not enough for G2 to stay in this game.
Yeah, I mean, on paper it shouldn't be anyway. We know they have players who are capable of making this work, but what we've been seeing so far throughout this, and with the level we're getting from Gambit especially, I do not see a path back into Vertigo right now. I think Dust 2 is pretty soon going to have to be on the minds of G2 in order to make that comeback happen. Looks like we're going to find some contact actually around the scaffold, and this time we do see G2 go a little bit more aggressive with it. Kenny just walks through the smoke. Did he even walk through, or did he just straight up spam him through it? I'm not even sure if he had vision there. It did show that the kill was through the smoke itself. So yeah, good opening frag. They sadly aren't able to get that weapon. It would have been too risky to push in and try and retrieve it. At that point, probably just too greedy. But still, with the lack of firepower that they have, it would have been a very great pickup for them. Well, let's see. It's actually been brought back towards B now, with Axile at least looking to see if he can probe around, see if anyone's shown themselves. And well, yeah, he does spot one player, but sadly doesn't manage to find the opening. And so far, they're just not really being given a lot. We're seeing a much safer approach here from G2.
Where do they take it now that they've been rebuffed? Oh, look at this. On the A ramp, there's a player behind cement, and they're not aware. They're not aware. Is this happening? No, I'm sorry. It was confusing on the minimap. He was actually down below the B stairs. Minimap just thwarted me. He wasn't sure how he'd gotten to that angle. He had not. So never mind. Here it comes through. Let's see what they can do. Hunter trying to hold on with an MP9. He's lost a teammate. He's got a lot of players here with him, though. And this is going to work. She deletes the first. I think may have even gotten tagged by his teammate in the back of the head. There's Shiro and Hobbit takes him down, but it's down to 15 seconds. They better move now if they want to do it. Hobbit trying his best. 12 seconds on the clock. Shiro just going to go for the kill. Trying to bait them in, running out of time, needs to punch in these numbers, and they recognize that he's not here. They don't need to give him the fight, but they're going to. And they're going to polish him off. Not much health between them, but they get the round through, and that's what they need. It doesn't matter how they do it, by hook or by crook. They survive for now. 7 rounds back, though, for G2. They still need to run 7 in a row.
Yeah, it seems a little bit insurmountable at this point for them, but slowly but surely, and then maybe we can start believing. I say this most of the time when we end up in a situation like this, but hit about 10 or 11, and that's where I start thinking, okay, yeah, this is doable. That's where it becomes maybe just a couple to 2 to 3 gun rounds rather before it actually, well, it is basically an overtime at that point. Obviously, being on the T side, maybe a little bit more, because once you get the loss bonus going and those bomb plants especially, you can basically buy every round if they are going down. But yeah, another few rounds, and then I start believing that perhaps we do have that comeback on. This round, it could still be dangerous. I mean, it is the buy from Gambit. I don't know how much I love this, but let's see what can be done with it. And, well, so far the answer is pretty much 0. Nexa has found a kill over towards A, I believe. There was one player lurked up the ramp, trying to serve as a bit of a distraction and hold those players in place while the B hit came through, but we can see that hasn't worked out as intended. It is now only Shiro, and, well, he's got an AK, and he's got a couple more kills, making it a slightly more costly round than I think G2 could afford. Even in this position, where obviously they only need enough to be dropping over to their teammates, they're still, unfortunately, working with a much worse economy than they need to have everyone on those rifles. Yeah, we have 2 MP9s. Oh, damn, I thought we were only going to have 1. I thought Kenny was going to drop. What is going on here? Why didn't Kenny drop?
They know they're in an anti-eco, so I think they're more okay with having the two SMGs, because then next round they can just drop regardless. You know, if nobody dies here, they'll just drop a gun. But if someone goes down, then they can deal with it having the SMG. And honestly, you know, if they want to pick up a rifle here, it's not a bad idea to have an MP9 make your money here. Kenny asking to strike first. It has been really nice to see him come alive now that they've had the AWP a little bit. Here's the flank from Hunter. He's going to be able to get 1. Can he get more? Yes. Goes to the sidearm to secure it. That one's going to be a little bit too much to ask. But now they're chasing down the SMG from the other side. Nexa collects that. It's all into Shiro. Shiro would like to make some money. Make that AWP a bit easier.
Oh.
And, oh, goodness gracious. He looked like he was going to get the kill. Not much health remaining, but Nexa does hang on. Either way, he would have lost the round. But that's a nice way to do it. Reinforce the confidence. Put down Shiro a little bit. 15-10 is our scoreline here. Just 5 more needed for G2. But the buy is back, and the buy is looking pretty ferocious for Gambit. Timeout called.
Yeah, I was surprised they were trying to fight Shiro there when he had the MP9, to be honest. If he got that 1 kill, he would have been sitting a little bit above 6,000. It would have given him the full armor with the op and some nades, a couple even behind us, some flashes. As you said, though, pause from Gambit. They realize things are getting a bit too close for their liking at this point. Maybe a little bit of sweat starting to show. As, maybe some thoughts in the back of their mind. I'd hope not, though. They still have 5 chances. As I said, with them being on the T side as well, it's not quite as bad. If it was flipped around now and they were up 15-10 on the CT side, I'd be saying, yeah, no, this comeback is looking real doable. And it is still for G2, but a little bit of a ways to go before they actually crack through. We're seeing Inters on a Galil, which is unfortunate because he's been playing pretty well. He actually slowed down a lot after kind of his start to that first half where he went up, I think, to 10 kills pretty quickly. Obviously, in the meantime, though, Shiro and Hobbit have started popping heads, and Nafany as well is having a great time. So they're all doing their thing. I don't think it's really too much of an issue for them, but this would be around here where they all want to step up again and put an end to it before things get too scary. And, well, it gets pretty scary once Kenny gets that op in his hands. An opening kill on towards Nafany, and look at Hobbit. He wants to see if he can use the time in here to creep around. But Kenny, I was going to say, is watching it. Never mind, he's just left. Thankfully for him, Hobbit hasn't pounced on it as of this moment, and for now he's just waiting for his teammates. Oh, Nexa. He's in trouble. He was actually in behind the sandbags. Obviously, they notice now as the smoke goes down, but he's also wasting plenty of time for, I was going to say Kenny to rotate back over, but it's actually Hunter who's come in to help.
Getting tagged up a bit. Finding the presence. Nico's been taken down elsewhere. Hobbit's now out the side hallway, and they know that, but Hunter, that's a big trade to get. If he doesn't find that, they can get very rough indeed. Do they think they dealt with him in towards the cement? They did not, but now the kills come in. It's a 2-on-2. 50 seconds still to play with. That bomb is down, and there is not much utility here for Gambit, which is the big issue. They need to get to that before that curtain of smoke disappears. And now that they have the bomb, they could leave if they want to, but no, they're going to commit back in. This is not a bad situation because Shiro can now keep his teammate alive, but the flash is out and it's too good. It connects. Shiro can't do anything about this. Now they're going to smoke and get on the defuse. Shiro going to have to play the guessing game here. Does he realize they're already on it? No. Gets one shot off before the defuse comes in. That is going to be round 11 for G2. The op at least survives for Shiro, but Gambit, they're watching this lead dripping down the drain.
Oh, it's on. It is definitely on at this point. Again, the bomb goes down, so the economy actually wasn't too terrible, but they weren't sitting with the full loss bonus, I don't believe. So even with that, they aren't able to quite get the full investment. A few deagles, or rather deagles everywhere, apart from obviously the op that they did save over. And it's Shiro on an op. He's on 26 frags already, so I'm not going to like count them out of this round by any means. And oh yeah, he hits the flick on Amanek. This is trouble for Hunter. They have players here if they want to just try and actually capitalize on this and swarm in. It doesn't seem like they're in too much of a rush to do so since they still have players lurking elsewhere on the map as well. Yeah, a lot of pressure to start off this round for G2. Are they aware of what else they're up against as well? Do they know if rifles have come out around that op is the question. Oh, nice molly by Kenny. Is it pushing the player out? It did, but Nafany got the kill.
He waited long enough. It didn't initially spread to his corner, so Kenny thought it was clear, but he just waits. By the time the tick spreads, he can come back around. Nafany's been dropped, but there's the trade as well. Nexa now down. That's the A site. Well, a little bit opened. Hunter does catch Hobbit. Could have been so dangerous if he faltered. As it is, they want to get in towards B quickly, so it's all going to be on Hunter. It's Hunter and Nico who need to do it all. Do they realize he's got in towards the site? Here's the first swing. There's the kill, but not the kill. Not yet, and that allows him to be brought into the op crosshair. That's a problem now. A 1v2 for Nico. Needs to pull off the clutch, and the bomb will be down long before he gets towards sight. Axel might even be able to get a gun. Should be able to get a gun. And this now becomes a very tough clutch for Nico. Does have a smoke. Does have a nade. Has a kit as well. That's key to note. He's going to creep forward. And we know he's got the star power. Going to be coming around. The smoke could cover off a little bit of a defuse action, and that's what he's going to go for. He's just going to go ahead and try and stick it. Try and bait the response. Swings, and Shiro deletes him. A 4K for Shiro to confirm the map, and that is Gambit taking their own map pick. We'll take a break and be back soon to break this down.